Super excited today to introduce you guys to Stack. Stack is our graphene ceramic hybrid spray sealant, okay? Probably one of the most common questions we get down here at our facility when we're done with a car for somebody, other than how do I keep it swirl free and how do I not wash it and put swirls in it, is how do I keep it protected? How do I keep it glossy? How do I keep it slick? And that's why we are super stoked to introduce Stack, okay? So the idea behind this is a couple fold. Number one, if you are a person who has a car that is stored outside, no garage, no shelter, constantly getting pummeled by Mother Nature, I wanted to come up with a way that you could easily and quickly install some sort of strong protection to your paint without having to work super crazy hard at it and fight against it. So for all of you that have a car that is kept outdoors, this is going to be an awesome solution for you. You can get around the average car in about, honestly, 10 minutes. Trucks might take more like 15 minutes, but 10 or 15 minutes and you'll have a layer of this on the entire vehicle, roof to rocker, okay? The other reason that I wanted to introduce it is so that you could stack the protection on your vehicle. So whether you've got a conventional paint sealant, if you've got a professional ceramic coating installed on your vehicle, whatever it might be, I wanted to have something that you could stack up the protection and constantly have a barrier on top of your paint, or a barrier on top of your stronger base layer. So those are the reasons that I came up with Stack. Now this stuff smells fantastic. I can't put a finger on what it smells like, so I'd like your feedback on that if anybody has a way to describe the scent, but it smells amazing. But it's very, very simple. The vehicle has to be clean, washed, rinsed and dried, blow dry all crevices and all that stuff. And you simply will prime your towel a little bit with a few spritzes, maybe one on the panel, okay? And then just top to bottom, you're going to just wipe it on. It's very, very simple. You're not gonna have to fight this. It's not gonna be sticky, tacky, grabby, anything like that. You'll notice that it's gonna glide right on. And then there's not gonna be much residue to wipe off unless you just go ultra heavy, which you can do if your car hasn't been protected in a while, okay? But you're not gonna need to go ultra heavy. I would recommend, whether you spray it on the panel or whether you spray it on the towel, I'd say 2 to 3 spritzes per panel is more than enough. Anything more than that and you're almost being wasteful, okay? So this is just one of our Butter Plush microfiber towels, okay? We have these in yellow and we also have them in gray. So you could use one of these and work your way around the vehicle. It's that simple. I'm just gonna go around, and this will be my final inspection wipe down on this vehicle for this time. Now my truck is ceramic coated, so in this case, this is fortifying my ceramic and stacking on top of it. So how often do you use this? When should you use it? Well, if you have a vehicle that is stored outside 24/7 and it needs constant fortification of the protection on it because it's just getting pummeled by Mother Nature, you're probably gonna use Stack after every single wash. I'm not gonna lie. Mother Nature works a number on your car, especially if it's a darker color and that car is outside 24/7. You need as much help as you can get. So you might put this in place of our Fuse detail spray and not even use detail spray and use this every single time. If it's garage kept and ceramic coated and you look after it and take super good care of it, I don't know, man. You might use this only once every couple months, once every 3 months, once every 4 months. It's really up to you how much you want to boost the protection and how much you're constantly wanting to feed the surface. But as a rule of thumb, if it's outside 24/7 and you have no shelter, I'd use this after every single wash. If it's garage kept and it's ceramic coated, for example, on the ultra high-end side of things, you might only use this once every 3 to 4 months. This stuff works great on glass. It's going to keep your glass incredibly slick as well. So there's that. How long does it last? I don't know. By itself, I would probably tell you somewhere in the 6-month range. Somewhere in there, okay? Depends on how you drive it and how you store the vehicle, right? So if you're outside 24/7 and you're driving a ton, you're probably going to be on the low end of this and maybe only get about 3 to 4 months out of it. And that's why using this after every single wash can help that protection last longer and help it endure Mother Nature. As a really strong booster for a vehicle that is already ceramic coated, this is probably going to get you a few months of being your sacrificial top coat on top of your ceramic coating, and it'll help the longevity of your ceramic coating last beyond its expectation. So there's that. The only thing I'll say, and the other thing that I'll say in closing, is that if your vehicle needs to be decontaminated, you really need to figure that out first, because just because your vehicle all of a sudden has some slick hydrophobic spray put on top of it, doesn't mean all of a sudden it's going to be slick and hydrophobic. If your paint is loaded with tree sediment, environmental fallout, brake dust, exhaust soot, general elements from being outside, if it's just encrusted with all kinds of embedment, you need to probably do a really heavy clay bar session. You probably need to do a really solid dose of iron remover around the vehicle and get rid of all those bonded contaminants. So that way when you put on stack, it's actually getting involved with the paint surface, not all the crap that's on your paint or in your paint. So, and then my recommendation would always be to go to a place like Insane Paint Auto Detailing and get a professional polish. That would be a really good idea too. So anyway. But yeah, so there you have it. Just evaluate the decontamination on your vehicle and how long it's been since you've done that. If you're outside, if your car is outside 24/7 and you haven't decontaminated it in a while, you're probably going to need that very heavily, and then follow it up with a couple layers of stack. And in final notes, what I mean by a couple layers, when you apply this, please try to let it not be exposed to Mother Nature for maybe 4 to 6 hours if possible. And if in those 4 to 6 hours, you can let this really set up and bond with the surface, come back and then do a second layer of this, man, that is so choice. You will notice a difference on that second layer on how the towel feels on the paint. It's so freaking juicy and so slick. So a couple layers of this back to back, about 4 hours apart, is awesome. So anyway, that's it. I'm done yapping. We'll see you later.